Hey folks, and welcome to the latest video in the SAM for IBM Rhapsody series. I'm Andy Lapping, and in this video we'll use SAM to perform an impact analysis. Now, in the last video we were working on this sample model of a dishwasher, which has two modes of working, normal and quick. Now, I've started a new chat here in Claude. Let's give it a prompt. If I wanted to add an additional mode named intense, which requirements would be impacted and how would the design have to be changed? Now, I wasn't very clear in this new chat that we are working in a Rhapsody model, but Claude is smart enough to realise it needs more context, and it's checking our previous chats. Since I've worked on this model with SAM a few times, Claude quickly picked that up and lists the requirements that need to change, along with some proposed design changes, including of course a new state for our intense mode, new transitions, modifications to the setup operation that controls the timings, and an additional enumeration to one of our types. Now, before we let it go ahead and change anything, let's ask, what are the risks? When we get those responses, we can check them and we can evaluate if we are happy with the proposal or if we want to change anything. In this case, I'm going to say, go ahead, implement it all. Now, we could of course also do that in stages. So off it goes, adding a new enumeration literal, and then modifying the state machine details, followed by updates to the operations and the requirements, even adding in new traceability to those requirements. And there's a nice summary of the changes that it made. But the diagram doesn't look any different, even though it did actually change the state machine underneath. Now, SAM provides detailed documentation to AI assistants on how to work with Rhapsody to achieve results, but the AI doesn't always choose to read it. Instead, it makes assumptions, and sometimes we just need to prompt it. I don't see any change to the diagram. What does the documentation say about editing state charts? Now, that's prompted it to actually read the documentation, in this case for state charts, and it now realises that in addition to modifying the state machine, it also has to modify the graphics. And off it goes, adding those states and transitions to the diagram. There's our new intense state, and just like the others, the transition into it is guarded. We can only take that transition if we are also in the ready state. So let's test it by executing the model. Now, of course, I could have SAM do it, but this is one of those times when it's quicker to use the menu. That model is building and then starts executing. Let's click Go to set it running, and then we can open up a simulated version of that dishwasher state chart. There we can see the three modes, including our new intense mode. Currently we are in normal. If I zoom to fit, then we can see we're also in the idle state at the top. Let's open the event generator and generate an EV close event to close the door and put us into ready, which is the only state that lets us change the mode. Now that we're in the ready state, we can generate the EV mode and move from normal into quick. And if we generate that again, we've now moved into intense. So we've performed an impact analysis of a proposed change, implemented that change, and tested it, all in just a few minutes. Well, that's it for this video. Over the course of the series, we'll explore the other use cases and capabilities of SAM for IBM Rhapsody. But for now, thanks for watching.